What I'm going to show you here is how you create information, and then you take that information and you create a dashboard. What we've created here is what we call a sale tracker, and it's to track people's efforts, what they said they were going to do and what they actually did. So we've got 3 people here, and the first person is Seppo, and he committed to make 10 sales calls, and he actually made 10 sales calls, and so he made 100% of his target in terms of how many sales calls he was going to make. If we look at Elliot, he said he was going to make 20. He actually made 15, which is 75% of the target. And Seppo said he was going to make 5, actually made 4, and that's 80%. First of all, you can see that 100% is in green, and 75% is in orange, and 80% is in orange, and then the others have different colors. But these colors are not put in afterwards, they are automatically generated. For instance, if Seppo decided, or if Seppo said he was going to make 10 calls and he only made 5 calls, that would be 50%. And if I hit enter here, you can see that it's at 50% and it's in orange. If it was 4, it would be 40% and it's now in red. So the color changes according to the performance. Let's go back to what it was. If you made 10 calls, that would put him back in the green, which would be 100%. So the colors can change according to how the numbers are being performed, and immediately you can just look at the colors and the colors will highlight that information for you. I'm going to show you a little bit later on how we do that. In fact, I'm not going to do it with colors. I'll do it slightly differently with little icons, but it's the same concept. If we continue looking at this dashboard, we can see that Seppo said he was going to have a first meeting with 8 people, and he actually did it with 15 different people. He's way above target. It's in green. It's 188%. A lot of people think that you can only have 100%. You can't have more than 100%. If you're achieving more than what you said, that'll be 100%. And then one could have a follow-up meeting, and Seppo said he was going to have 14 follow-up meetings. He actually only had 10. That's at 71%. And again, you can see the numbers over here. Sipiwe actually had 200%. Okay, that means it's more than double. He's double 6 is 12. This is more than double. It's over 200%. So those are the numbers. So your first thing is you have to capture the data. You have to put the data and the numbers in a way that they themselves become visually attractive. It's not just a list of numbers. The numbers have colors to it. You're making them more accessible. You can get a 2-year-old to come and have a look at this, and they'll tell you green's good and red's bad, etc. What one should avoid is what we've got over here, is where we have the colors are in there without the numbers. So these should all be just plain. So it should look like this, that when we don't have any numbers there, the rest of it is not colored in. I'm now going to take it from the visualization on the data table itself and now create graphs, which will further emphasize what is happening. Let's look now at that conditional formatting. So we've got that information as before. If you go onto your home page, you go and you'll see a button that says conditional formatting. If I highlight the numbers, and I'm only going to highlight the actuals, you can see that you have many different rules that apply to the conditional formatting. So we can highlight cell rules, and we can say that we can highlight if the number is greater than something, less than something, in between something. You can create a whole lot of formulas to see how you want to color this in. You've also got top to bottom rules. This would highlight the information, what's in the top 10, bottom, and the average, etc. So let's have a look, and let's do the greater than, for instance. And I'm only going to, it's the classic style, etc. And it's going to put it in red like that. If the cell value is greater than, and let's say only if it's greater than 11. So it's only going to highlight that one that's 15, which is Elliot, and let's go OK. And when I say that, you can see that it's changed that to red. If Seppo was 16, that'd also be red. If it was 12, it would still be red because we said greater than 11. If it was 11, it would change because 11 is not greater than 11. It would be only the greater ones. Okay, so that's the first way that one could highlight this information. Let me go and clear the rules. And now we're back to where we started, and I'm going to show you something else. So we're going to highlight this, and I'm going to look at data bars. And we can take the data bars and we can look at a gradient fill or solid fill, etc. I like the graded fill, and we're going to fill it in with the blue. And what do I mean by data bars? Let me do this. You can see that it's showing you as a graphic almost in the cell itself. So it's like a bar chart showing you really what it looks like compared to the numbers. So your 15 is full completely, 11 slightly less, and your 4 is right at the bottom. And as simple as that, within the cell itself, we're creating a visualization of what the number is. Let's go back and let's look at a couple of other things. If I look at color scales, I can look at the color scales, and there you will have what we had previously, where you've got the colors. Green will be the biggest, red will be the smallest, and yellow will be in the middle. And as these numbers change, if this first one was 18, everything changes because now that is green and that is yellow, and that then will be red. If this one changes again to 25, all of a sudden all the colors will then change. Let's go back and reset the rules. So clear all rules, and we're back to where we started from. If I look at the icon set, I can go and I can choose different icons to indicate what it is. It could be arrows, it could be circles, it could be flags. Let's have a look and do the little circles. So I'm going to highlight what I'm looking at. I'm going to go and choose the icon set, and the icon set is these little shapes, the little circles, and immediately it's showing me these according to the rules that have been set up. If the numbers change, so this goes down to 10, we have our scale now will change. The icons next to it will change based on the numbers that we've chosen.